if you have a marketing agency and you do some sort of a done for you service, you should probably have a course. You should explain to your customers what business is, especially if you're dealing with VSMBs like I am or SMBs. The highest earning customer I've worked with probably was making around $800,000 a year, and they don't really understand business. They need a business one-on-one course because here's the issue. A lot of them, when you present some sort of a done for you service, or at least like what we do, which is completely done for you, where we generate the lead, we send the lead over to the call center books them with a credit card and a deposit. And then all they have to do is just check their calendar and then they go and assign the cleaners for the clean. When we present the service that way, or what I notice is that for 95% of our customers, what they expect is to do nothing. They just pay, they go and rest. And it doesn't work that way. They still need to, well, first of all, do some effort, but they also need to understand what is it that we're doing so that it makes sense to them. Well, if it's not working, they can at least know what not working means. And if we are generating results, they need to understand that we are, which a lot of them are not. And what made me think about all this is I had a conversation with a specific customer who, well, wasn't really getting results, but technically he was still profitable. It was just not the results that we promised. And he was extremely mad. Not that he thought he wasn't even getting results. So I got on a call with him, spoke to him, said, okay, I understand that you're very mad and I understand that this is not what we promised. But if you look at it from an ROI perspective, it makes total sense. You spent this much, you made this much back. And you're going to be profitable. So what we need to do is we just need to work a little bit more on improving the results. And here's what we're trying to do, and here's what we're working on. Eventually, we were able to solve it. But during the call, I was like, in order to be able to determine what is it, like, why is it not working, we need to know a few things. So first of all, what is the CAC that we're working towards? How much do you want to spend to get a customers? Like, what is your desired cost per booking? And he said, I don't know, like $300. And I was like, what? $300? And he was like, yeah, like I want to make $300 out of a customer. And I said, well, that's how much you want to charge to the customer. But what about you? How much do you want to pay to get a customer? And then he just says, I don't know, man, I just want to get bookings. And that just made me realize how much our clients don't really understand business, which means they don't really understand what we do. In their mind, they just want to outsource it and let us do it. And if it's like that, like might as well just buy their business or like give them 20% of the profits and keep everything. But they need to understand it. They need to understand what it is that you're doing. And so what we're working on right now is having some sort of a course. So it's going to be on school. They're going to be modules, and they're even going to onboard themselves. And what we need them to know is like mainly it's unit economics. So what is CAC? How to forecast how much you need to spend on ads to get a certain number of customers. How to determine if a campaign is working or not. Like how much are we spending? How much are we getting back in the first 30 days? And how much are we going to get back in the future? Knowing that your clean is good and all of that. Because here's the other thing is when you work with customers in this niche or with this business model, there's an underlying assumption there, which is the only thing that they're missing is the leads, or the only thing that they're missing is bookings. Their cleans are really good, or their deliverables are really good. Their communication with customers is really good. Their processes for handling complaints is really good. And really all they need is just there's a missing part that we are going to come in and solve. But it's almost never the case, or probably it is never the case. Because if they were good at those things, usually they understand business, which means usually they know how to do the missing part that we do. And so it's never the case. They're just really like beginners, complete beginners in business, and they don't understand a lot of those things. And we find ourselves having to help them with other parts of their business. So we have to help them having a checklist, because if we want to advertise in a market that is sophisticated, we need mechanisms, and those mechanisms need to actually exist in real life. And so you need to look at the market and then adapt your service to it, rather than look at the service and then try to make the market like it. Like, if the only thing that you do is just provide a clean or provide a service in a sophisticated market, you're not going to be able to advertise it. And if you're able to advertise it that and you're not backing up those things, and it's false advertisement. So we need to show them the checklist, we need to create it with them. Some of them don't really have a pricing calculator, we need to create one for them. Some of them want us to charge less, although our close rate is good, and so we need to explain to them that it doesn't really matter as long as our close rate is not below $25 25%, knowing that we get leads at a cost of less than $15, and here's our close rate, and here's our pickup rate. And like, they need to understand all those things. So imagine with me a world where every single client that you sign has direct access or instant access to a school community that first onboard them. And this is another thing that I wanted to talk about, which is it is very it is a weird idea that we have to get on a call with a customer to onboard them. It is kind of stupid, even, because I'm going to give you one extreme of it, and then I'm going to give the other extreme, and I'm going to explain why it's a good idea to have them onboard themselves. So, on one extreme, the extreme where we basically do everything for them, we would, instead of sending them an onboarding form, we would just invite them on a call and have a series of questions and take notes. So we'll be like, okay, what's the name of the owner? Okay, you're the owner. What's the phone number? What's the emergency phone number? Have you ever advertised on Facebook? What is the website hosting platform that you're using? Okay, no, that's the website builder. Where did you host the website? And like, we can go over all the onboarding questions, and then when we go on a call, we would tell them, okay, you want to click here, and then you want to go there, and like, you want to do all those things, and it's 100% hands-on for us to onboard them. That's on one extreme. On the other extreme, we have a course, or we have video instructions that they can follow, and they can just onboard themselves. Here's the form, answer everything in it. Here are videos that show you how to add us to your ad account. Here's another video that shows you how to add the domain to your Go High Level account. Here's another video that shows you XYZ. And if you think about it, I'm kind of in the middle, and I've been in communities of other agency owners, and I can see that not almost all of them are in the middle. And it's weird because we've already kind of got the getting answers to our questions side of things hands off for us. So why not continue all the way? Because we're getting on a call to tell the customer to move their mouse a certain way, which is weird, or stupid, kind of. So I'm just going to completely automate this whole thing. So here's the module to get yourself onboarded, and it kind of creates that expectation that they will be doing some stuff themselves. So if the experience starts with them onboarding themselves, then it only makes sense to go and watch the next modules and do a little bit more work. So here's the next module that explains to you what is CAC and how much you need to spend on ads to make this much. And here's where CAC sits in your niche or in your market. And so they will be able to do some projections themselves. And then we're going to explain that the service needs to be really good. And here's what you need to do with your service to be able to adapt it to marketing. And the great thing when you adapt your service to marketing that actually works is your service ends up being good, because you have to market it as a really good service. And so this video was to talk about educating your customers on what a good or rather, educating your customers on how a business works, basically teaching them how to be business owners. So hope this helped, and this is the direction that we're moving into. All right, now fuck off.